For most of human history, death was not an abstraction. It was part of everyday life. In our modern world, we live longer, but we keep death at a distance, causing a surge of anxiety.
From a neuroscience standpoint, one of the things that we understand now probably to be true is that everything you see around you in this moment is not real in the sense that you think it is. It's not a perception, it's a prediction. So your brain is a predictive modeling machine. And so it takes a whole bunch of information, including your past experience. It creates a predictive virtual reality for you to inhabit. It's very hard for your brain to model nothing. So it's very hard for it to model its own non-existence. It's essentially impossible. And so most people can't imagine a world in which they don't exist, because what you're imagining includes you in this big model. As you go through life, you can't help noticing that death is something that exclusively happens to other people. No matter how old you are, every death you've seen has happened to somebody else. It might reinforce the sneaking suspicion that you have that maybe it won't happen to me. In older times, things were quite different, of course. It would go back 100 years. Average life expectancy was only about 50. Whereas now average life expectancy is, late 70s to early 80s in the United States. 100 years ago, life expectancy was 50, and death occurred mostly at home. People saw other people die all the time around them. They would be felled by tuberculosis, by pneumonia, by infectious disease. Your siblings would die, your parents would die. People around you would die all the time at young ages. Very often people were involved in slaughtering their own food, which involved the death of animals. So death as a concept or an event was a part of everybody's daily life, pretty much, in a way that it no longer is. Lots of people never see someone die now in their whole life. And so that has, I think, if anything, maybe increased in some level a fear of death, because you don't see it and that makes it a bit more mysterious or maybe ominous. It leaves people who are confronting that alone. And really the fear that people, as they approach end of life, the main fear they have is that they'll have to do this alone. And I don't think our culture helps with that, by not facilitating conversations or by having people think, well, I don't want to see that. That'll just take place at a hospital somewhere without my involvement, so I would just like not to be involved. I don't think we help with that. I think it actually helps people a lot to know that they don't have to be alone, and they don't expect other people to cure their terminal illness. They just expect a kind word and a little human presence, and that alone helps them feel like, that they don't have to confront this solely on their own.